Okay, so hopefully you took some time to try to figure this out, okay? Left my little drawing up here. Here's the information we have for number 5. The doctor wants you to give the patient 1/10 of a gram, 0.1 grams. You know that in this bottle, every milliliter has 200 milligrams. I also included this. This is from that little paragraph above, and we're going to need this also. You probably figured this out. We have to go from milligrams to grams, and this is the conversion. Okay. I also could have written it 1,000 milligrams per gram. I mean, either way is fine. I'm just saying they're equal. Okay, so we know that our answer, we need it to be in milliliters. I know that just from reading the question where it says how many milliliters of the solution. So I know my answer is milliliters. So I want to start with something with milliliters over here. I'm going to look at this. Now the way I have this written right here, 200 milligrams per 1 milliliter. But I know I can flip that, right? I can say there are 7 days in a week, or 1 week is 7 days. It means the same thing. I need milliliters on top. So I'm going to say 1 milliliter for 200 milligrams. I want milliliters in my answer. I do not want milligrams in my answer. This is where I need this extra information, right? Remember, these are the same thing. It's written differently. This is where I need this because I don't want milligrams anywhere. So, but the good thing about this is that I see that it connects the milligrams that I have here with my grams that I have here. So there are 1,000 milligrams in every gram. And again, that's the kind of information that I'll always give you. So the milligrams cancels out. I have grams. I do not want that in my answer. So the last thing I have is 0.1 gram. Again, since that's just a single piece of information, there's no ratio there, I'm just going to put it over 1. My grams cancel out. I'm left with just milliliters, which is exactly what I want. If I multiply this, 1,000 times 1/10, a tenth of 1,000 is going to be 100. And on the bottom, I have 200. So 100 200ths of a milliliter. Or if I reduce that, it's a half, or I can write it as 0.5. You need half a milliliter. Which makes sense, okay? Because a tenth of a gram is going to be, we said, 100 milliliters. 100 milligrams, sorry. A tenth of a gram is going to be 100 milligrams. I want 100 milligrams, which is half of that milliliter, right? A milliliter is 200 in this case. Okay, number 6. Same idea. We want to know how many milliliters to administer 500 milligrams from a dosage concentration of 1 gram per 3 milliliters. So same idea as this, but instead of being that concentration, now my medicine is every 3 milliliters is 1 gram of medicine. Okay, so again, I'm trying to find the number of milliliters. Again, you can see there are milligrams and grams, so I'm most likely going to need this again. So I want to know how many milliliters. So again, I'm going to start with something that has milliliters over here. It's going to be this guy. And the milliliters are going to be on top. So 3 milliliters for every 1 gram. I don't want grams in my answer. I'm going to use this. So grams on top so they cancel out. My grams cancel out. I do not want milligrams in my answer either. So those are going to cancel out using this. Again, since this is just a single piece of information and not a ratio, I'm just going to put it over 1. Now my milligrams cancel out, and I am left with just milliliters. If I multiply across the top, I get 1,500. Across the bottom, I get 1,000. If I divide that to make it a little neater, I'm going to get 1.5. So 1.5 milliliters. Which again makes sense. I want 500 milligrams. If there are 1,000 milligrams in 1 gram, then 500 milligrams is half of a gram, which would be half the number of milliliters here, which is 1.5. Okay, so I know this dimensional analysis stuff is not always easy, okay? And generally, when we do this in class, people are kind of grumpy with me at first, okay? And I get that. And it's especially tricky this year with not being in person. But I'm really asking you to just trust me on it, to try it, okay? To keep working at it. And it will get easier. Just always think about, what do I need to put on top to cancel out this last denominator that I don't want in my answer? If you look at the OCE for section 3.1, it's relatively short. And in number 4 and number 6, those are some that really might help you because they're giving you multiple choice questions with the dimensional analysis written out. So you kind of get a sense of what it looks like. When you're looking at those, always look at the units. Cross out the units that can be crossed out and see if you end up with the units you want. Remember, something on the bottom and bottom cannot cross out. It has to be a top and a bottom. Okay, so we'll get lots more practice with dimensional analysis throughout Module 3. Okay, later this week in Lesson 3.2, we'll be doing it. So just, as I said, take your time with it. Ask questions. Okay, the P&Ls for this week, 3.1 and 3.2, are due Friday night. But the OCEs for 3.1 and 3.2 are not due until next Friday night. So you've got lots of time to ask questions, but also please don't put it off to the last minute. Okay, because I don't want you to get overwhelmed. That being said, as I said in my email the other day, everyone's dealing with a lot right now. I am happy to give extensions on anything if you need them. Okay, but the deadlines are there just to kind of remind you that when you can, I want you to keep up with it so you're not falling way behind. Okay, so take care. I hope a lot of you can come to the Zoom sessions later this week. And also, you're always welcome to pop into my office hours or email me at any time. All right, take care.